Καλησπέρα στο 5ο επεισόδιο του The V Experiment. Καλά τα πάω. Επειδή θα είναι λίγο διαφορετικό σήμερα το επεισόδιο, ο φιλοξενούμενος μας δεν βρίσκεται στο στούντιο, είναι μια εξαίρεση. Προσπαθούμε να φτιάξουμε ό,τι μπορούμε καλύτερο για να γίνει η διαδικασία πιο ευχάριστη για εσάς. Σήμερα θα έχουμε μαζί μας τον εκπρόσωπο της GIATA DRIVE στην Ελλάδα και στην Κύπρο, τον Reinhard Gangelmeier. Αντιλαμβάνεστε ότι θα πρέπει, σαν καλοί οικοδεσπότες που είμαστε, να γίνει όλο το επεισόδιο σήμερα στα αγγλικά. Οπότε θα ξαναξεκινήσω ό,τι είπα μέχρι τώρα. Μπορείτε να πάτε να πάρετε το κρασί σας, το popcorn, γενικότερα το σημειωματάριο για να με κράξετε, δεν υπάρχει θέμα. Και να το ξεκινήσουμε ξανά από την αρχή στα αγγλικά. Thank you very much for visiting the V Experiment for our 6th episode. If somebody thinks that there is a German accent somewhere behind here in my English, he's correct. And I'm going to tell you afterwards about what it's all about. Tonight we are going to have with us the one and only Reinhard Gangelmeier, which is the go-to guy for GIATA DRIVE in Greece and in Cyprus. We've been talking for a lot of years. He's earned my respect, and I believe that I've talked enough about him, and it's time to let him introduce himself. And Reinhard, welcome to the show.
Kyriakos, it is an honor. It's a pleasure to be on the show. Thank you very much for having me, first of all. I was looking forward to this evening very long now. Also looking into what you have accomplished so far together with F64 Studios. It's wonderful, and I really enjoyed every single episode of your conversations with business leaders also in Greece. For me, not being directly from Greece, having worked in Greece, it's always a pleasure to be able to present and to be present in the Greek community, in the Greek conversation, to speak about something that is really something of importance in my view. And this, of course, is the digital transformation, not only of the hospitality business, but all over the world. My specific role in it, because this is what I also believe we all do, we find our certain roles, is to bring distinctive parts of technology closer to hospitality. And of course, I have the luck, the really big luck, to be working with the Greek market and the Cyprus market. In detail, a few other markets as well, but this is my main focus. And I am really pleased to join our conversation tonight.
Fantastic. Now, the thing is, Reinhard, because it's a little bit strange with us two, it could be because this show would be better in German for both of us. It would be more relaxing. I don't have a problem using German words and translating them, or Greek words and translating them. It's a multilingual show. What would you like to tell the people that are listening about GIATA DRIVE? That already, most of the people already know what GIATA DRIVE is all about, but let's talk about what it is. Mm-hmm. It's yours, please.
I think what is most important to understand in the first place is that this is what I tried to explain previously. It is all about the digital transformation, and we all have to be aware of what does it mean, digital transformation. It's such a big word, actually. And for when we come to the hospitality industry, and now we speak about hoteliers, not only the big hotel chains in Greece, let's call them Greek Hotel, let's call them Mitsis Hotel, but especially the individual hotelier who usually doesn't have the same access to new technologies as other larger companies do. So I believe what is most important to understand that is that digital transformation means to facilitate the workflows, the working processes within the hotel company in every single level of the organization. And talking about levels of organization, I think we all know how it is when it's the owner of a smaller hotel property, let's say with 10, 15, 20 rooms, and some maybe until 50 rooms, 100 rooms, or 150. The larger they get, the more complicated the internal structures are. But what we all have to keep in mind is that there are certain processes which can be facilitated a lot by using the right type of technology, which is meant as a supporting technology, not to take over the complete business strategy, because this is still something the hotelier has to decide. GIATA Drive has been created in order to give the hotelier of any type, size, location, category, or hotel chains, of course, as well, a platform where, first of all, the hotelier can start to organize hotel content, the visible hotel content and the descriptive hotel content. In other words, images, detailed facts about the property, the videos on room level, on property level. The same with the new, and this is something very important for the distribution and sales perspective, but it has become already a reality, are the new Matterport 3D virtual reality immersive view hotel tours. All of this type of media and content information or format of content information, GIATA has made available on the GIATA Drive extranet in order to organize and to manage it properly by the hotelier seamlessly. So in the beginning, it's a lot of work. After it has been updated once, then it only has to be updated when there are news and something new. This is the first part. So what I'm trying to say with this impression of GIATA Drive in the first place, it finally gives the hotelier a good extranet, a state-of-the-art extranet, easy to handle, very intuitive to handle and to explain, in order to not having to use the file to folder saving, to lose the memory sticks, maybe where the photos of the last year, of the previous year have been on, to use WeTransfer or any other communication media, because this is all what GIATA Drive is considering, not only the management, but also the communication of the content. Which hotelier has an own multifunctional functional digital hotel fact sheet, basically, not only at hand, visiting fairs or visiting other publications on the road in the communication with other people, with their sales partners, local travel agencies, destination management companies, DMCs, they call it in general, of the distinctive certain destinations. The local travel agent around the corner in Athens or in Thessaloniki or on Kos or on Corfu, on roads, of course, not to forget. So there are many different places where the hotel information needs to be present and updated. And with GIATA Drive, the hotelier simply has the possibility to manage it and make it available, for example, in a digital hotel fact sheet to the market. This is number one, what I want to say. So it facilitates the life. And the second large portion of GIATA Drive, what is important and what every hotelier dreams of and wishes of, is that the content is not only possible to manage and to organize, but of course also to make available to the market in automated ways. So the hotelier is updating and then can rely on the fact that GIATA is distributing to over 20,000 distribution partners and channels worldwide in over 80 countries, providing this information, and the respective partners, according to which technology they're using, according to the way they are operating, they need. Some need the images, some need the images on room level, some only on facility and property level. Maybe some need the metadata also to work with, which is included in the complete management of the content as well. Some need the detailed facts to be distributed. Some maybe have the possibility already to display videos, and others already use the 3D virtual reality tours. So with the automated distribution, the hotelier is reaching a network of over 20,000 different channels and partners in the different sections of tour operators, travel agency reservation systems. Here's, for example, to name the very important Amadeus Traveltainment Bistro system, but others, of course, as well, like the Peakwork SAT, Savory Shop Holiday. So there are numerous different systems where the information the hotelier is updating on GIATA Drive is made available to. Then, of course, OTAs. There are hundreds. You name it worldwide, maybe 1,000 OTAs. There are a few big ones. Let's call them the Bookings and the Expedias of the world, the Agodas or Trivago, Kayak, many different. But what is important there is also, according to how they are using the information, GIATA is providing, and not only providing, but also dynamically developing the technology in order to bring this information out to the market. Another big part of the automated distribution are also the GDS providers, like Amadeus, Galileo, you name
Reinhard,
them. So, yes.
I'm going to interrupt you.
Yes, please. You have a question, I bet.
I have a lot of questions,
Yes.
and the questions go. Imagine that that is what I do always. I always think that I have opposite me a child that is 3.5 years old, and when I met you the first time through internet, through whatever, I'm always trying to be as simple as it is. You explaining everything is so on the spot, everything. If you remember the first time that we met, I told you, okay, this means I can control as a GM, as a trainer for the ownership. I can control all the images that are going to be on the internet for my facility. Is this correct?
In parts, it is correct. Because, of course, as
yes.
we know, we have to, and this is why the question is very important, and it is important to understand the difference between directly integrating into some of the distribution channels and partners who use every single piece of the content of GIATA, or maybe only the images, or maybe only the facts, and to integrate them on a live basis into their online hotel descriptions. But what we all know, and this is a reality, this has to be named, and I am a very open person, as you say, and try to bring the things right to the spot and to the point. I'm always doing reality checks, and as my experience is, and I'm certainly not the one who has the largest experience in tourism, but I have gathered some, and also in online distribution, which has become very important, which is even the importance is growing even further. It is not possible to control the internet 100%. This is one truth that we all have to accept. With GIATA Drive, what the hotelier is, first of all, he has the complete sovereignty, and this is one goal of GIATA Drive, the complete sovereignty over his content. This means he is in charge and he decides which images are present on the GIATA hotel directory. It's a global hotel directory where all the information of all GIATA Drive customers, in the meanwhile over 33,000 already worldwide, and with a dynamically growing number, not only in the European markets, this started out of then global. And all this information is made directly available there, and the hotelier can decide which images he wants to have on GIATA and which ones not. Which detailed facts does he want to present on the property? Which videos, which 3D VR tours he wants to make present, and all of this information is then provided. The frequency, and this is important to answer the question as well, of the update of all of these different distribution partners, which, by the way, GIATA is making publicly available on the website. There's no secret. It's 100% transparency in the complete communication of the partners. The distribution sequence differs from one partner to the other one, according to how they are working. They're all contract partners of GIATA, of course, but and they are picking. And what we all have to, as a third big point, by answering the question, is it possible to have 100% control over the content? I would still say no. due to the reason as well that, of course, for the hotelier side, he cannot be behind all of the flow of the information all the time. And behind every automation process, updating the different channels, there are always sitting people. This once in a while, when we speak about automation, when we speak about digital transformation, digitizing distribution ways. But what is important, most channels, they are not directly connected by an XML connection. It's a growing number. XML is meaning systems communicate with each other. But even then, somebody at the tour operator, OTA, or even at GIATA, they have to review first and to check, okay, is everything fine? Do we want this to be published? And then somebody has to push the
The
so-called
button.
red button. Yeah, so in that case, so this means the hotelier has definitely an optimum level, I would call it an optimum level of control over the content circulating in the internet, in sales systems, on tour operator sales platforms and websites, in travel agency reservation systems, and he can be sure that GIATA is delivering the right technology in order to control the ways. This does not mean, of course, that mistakes cannot happen. This is something that is always there. No? So, and for this section, we are all human, and we need to work. It's a cooperation still. GIATA Drive is a supporting technology, helping the hotelier to distribute, giving most optimum control over it, and it's a mutual together in the findings of wrongly distributed content. Another good example, which is fitting right in, is a hotelier, after he has updated information on GIATA Drive, is finding an old image from some source, because sources can be seen in the internet. When you open a website, even on Google Maps, for example, you always see the source. And the hotelier finds an old image. What can he do with it? When he knows, when he opens the channel list, he says, okay, GIATA is distributing there and can control it. Let's speak to the GIATA customer success team, which is a personal company doing all the process and working relationship with GIATA Drive, and they help the hotelier to exchange this image. So it gives a quite good control over it. And from my experience now, the last couple of years where the product is in the market, especially after the crisis time, I think this is also a topic we will speak about later on. This is the technology is so far that a good 80 to 85% is well controlled.
Yeah. The thing is that I can understand everything that you say because we have been discussing all those things like how many years now? 2024,
So
19,
5 years
yeah, 5-6 years.
about.
I know about GIATA. GIATA is a product that is very helpful for every hotelier and every company that is in the hospitality. My question to you is, how did you start with GIATA, and how was your trip through the hospitality and everything? This is what I want to ask you, because all the time, not with me, with most of the people, you discuss about work. Everything is about work, but not everything is about work. It's about the people, and you know this very good because you have been working in Greece a lot of years. Tell me your story.
With pleasure. It's a people's business, people say, usually. And in my opinion, the hospitality industry, I would even try to put away a little. I started with GIATA. It's all about communication. And when I started with GIATA, it was in a form of a project, basically, from 2018 to 2019. And when the product has been introduced to the market, the hotel product has been introduced to the market. The GIATA company exists since 1996 already. So basically, with the first moment, the tour operators, but also the booking guests and customers and travel agencies as well were in the need of having online hotel descriptions. This is when the company started, and then they have been working more with tour operators, with the larger OTA partners. And then in 2019 it started. There I was, with all my experience, having worked with larger tour.
What was the experience? You didn't tell us.
Yeah, yes, the experience was having gone since the end of the 1990s until until 2020, and having lived through all the different life cycles of the touristic world. There were financial crises. There were other crises. All the time, something was happening. There were good times and the bad times. And what I was learning from all this time was you never stop learning something new. When I started out to work with a large tour operator, the most important experience that I had, and this was the emphasis, was service, and the service for the customer. Today, this helps me tremendously when communicating with hoteliers, for example, in Greece, um, discussing and talking about the application possibilities. So going really into detail, how the technologies, the different technologies included, can help and can support. And of course, it's not that. It's what I learned from customer service. You start out something, a communication, maybe you find an agreement, you start to work together, but the questions never end. On the contrary, the questions just start at the beginning of something new. And then all along the way, why? Because we are all human beings and we all have the tendency to, first of all, survive. And secondly, by surviving, we need to ask questions and to develop ourselves further and to try to help those who need support in further developing for the greater good in the end, not for the whole country, for a country's tourism business, for the global tourism, for example. And this is something that I really learned a lot. Service is everything.
Yeah, asking questions is the most important thing, because if you don't ask questions, you are going to the other side, which means you're going to be judgmental. Is this correct? You're going to judge everybody that you're going to see in front of you. How was your time in GIATA DRIVE? Because I know it was difficult at the beginning, because being somewhere in Greece, I don't want to spoil anything. I'm going to let you talk about the difficulties and the positive things, because there's always a balance about, if there is something negative, there is also something positive. You are expected to take whatever you like. If you want to take the negative, you're going to be a negative person. If you want to take the positive, you're going to be a positive person. Both of them are lessons. So how was your time after 2018 here in Greece?
Yeah, it was. I have to say that, first of all, I'm not really a fan of weighing too much. So neither I say this was something positive or negative. For me, I try to see how reality is, how people are, because this is what it was all about. When I started to introduce the technology hotel, GIATA DRIVE, to the hotelier, to the Greek hotelier, many were very interested, very open. First of all, and that's the nature of the people, of course. They wanted to learn something new, and they didn't want to be blocked by technology nowadays. They wanted to understand how they can use it better. Of course, it was not. I wouldn't say it was not easy. It took a long time. I needed to have a lot of patience, explaining how somebody can develop as a hotelier, as a hotel owner who's used. And this is something we have to understand. The hotel owner or hotel companies, even hotel management companies who are taking care of hotels in Greece a lot as well, everybody was used to run their own business. So this means when you try to implement, or when somebody's coming like me, with a lot of patience, a lot of experience at hand, with a very detailed way of explaining how the functionality can be and how a technology can help the hotelier. The hotelier has to give from himself a free way and the green bill, more or less, to say, okay, I would entrust in automation technology, well knowing that you cannot control it. You cannot control it 100%. And once you have updated your information in GIATA Drive, of course, you have, but still, you will never be able to control every single one of the spots where it is distributed, but you have a better control over it. And you have some things to say, here, this is a leverage. When I see something that is not correct, or if I want to enhance something, then I can use this and this and this distinctive tool of the technology in order to provide it. So I needed to, it's not about teaching, but to make the hotelier understand better the person the hotelier has working in a content department or a descriptive in the reservation department, speaking with receptionists, front desks, sales and marketing people. These are the people actually using the system in the end and the different tools provided, to let them know what they can do with it until this point of understanding comes. Yes, this is something very useful because actually we just have to do it once with a lot of work, and then we just need to use 2 or 3 distinctive tools, and to remember that in any case when we need to speak, or by usually it is in the larger service centers, you always have an email contact, of course. GIATA has the customer success hotel team, one point of contact, and in case they have any question, they don't get further, they just need to send an email, and then somebody will thoroughly reply to the issue, to the situation a hotelier is facing. And this is over the course of the time, it has become, until today, it's very easy for me. As you said in the beginning, by now, I believe GIATA Drive is known by every single hotelier in Greece. At least they've heard from me, from my colleague Dimitris Tsomanakis, who is handling Crete, in that way as well. There is one. And so, of course, the people know and the hoteliers know, but not everybody yet had the guts, the belly feeling also to say, okay, I'm making this transaction because I start to trust, and I know well that I will never be able to control it all, but to get further. And this was an obstacle which I for myself had also to understand. This was one part, and going further. The other part, which was a challenge, of course, was after the crisis time. GIATA Drive was introduced to the market it's not only concerned with GIATA, with every single company, business all over the world. It was exactly the same situation, introducing a great product idea right before a huge world crisis is starting is never helpful. Let's put it plainly like this. And of course, it took some time after the crisis, or when the crisis ceased a little bit more, until hoteliers recovered also financially. Because even though it's a very reasonable investment, the GIATA Drive, for the hotelier, suitable for any budget according to the number of rooms, but still the hotelier has an investment to do. And this was something to bring closer, that how would they perform and conduct the return on this investment, on this small investment of something that is not really visible. Of course, the pictures are visible, descriptions are visible, but the hotelier himself, usually they were all used to have immediate effects. If you make a sales call to a travel agent and make an agreement, or with a tour operator, you see 10, 20, 50 rooms are being sold. GIATA is not selling. The GIATA Drive is supporting to sell by providing the best possible presentation of the property in any of the sales channels. So these were the 2 major challenges, I have to admit.
We are going to, in like 20 seconds or something, I believe. Yeah, we're going to a break. And the thing is, when we come back from the break, I'm going to be the bad guy because you're so. I can understand your position about how the hoteliers can need to control everything, but it's actually in Greece it's a little bit more. We want to control everything. The thing is, you cannot control anything except yourself. You can control your own actions in whatever you do. But the thing is, we are going to get back after the break, and we are going to continue this very interesting conversation with Reinhard. And if you have any questions, you're welcome. We are back after the break, and now we are going to go after something very interesting. For the last episode, we have made something like, how's it called, guys? How's it called? Sorry? Ask the last question. Okay. Ask the last question. It's a question that is positioned from our last guest, which was Labrianakis from Protel, HIT. And he asked for you to tell us what was the worst day in your office ever, and how did you get over this?
That's a very good question, first of all, and it's a very interesting question because the same I will start to answer the same way that I answered before, to one question. I'm never judging. I try never to judge too much. So if somebody's asking me about my worst day ever in an office and how did I overcome
You're stalling.
situation.
You're winning time. Yeah. Now I'm going to. I told you.
I'm a good politician.
Yeah.
Kyriakos, you know me so well. I'm a good politician.
That's why I'm asking that the next half of an hour we are going to be more relaxed.
So it was.
Please.
To give you the concrete example, I was in charge of the airport handling of the service in the Dominican Republic in Punta Cana for a larger tour operator from Germany, and an airplane right after the start crashed. I was at our airport office, crashed, came down, caught fire, etc., etc. Of course, from one moment to the other one, the happy life in the Dominican Republic was over, and we were all put under a lot of stress. The whole team of myself, which were 3-4 people directly at the airport, but then of course also I had to inform the managers, and so on and so on. There was a whole course of events taking place. It was so fast that I didn't even have time to really recapitulate. Only in the morning, very early in the morning, when we had gathered the people then in different hotels afterwards, when those hospitalized were fine and were taken care of, I had the time to think a little bit time to think about it, and the lesson to overcome. It's the same with the Corona crisis. The first, and this was also a very bad day, not only for me but for everybody, or a very bad time in offices, when all of a sudden I received calls from Greek hoteliers. No, we don't want to continue to have the conversation now about anything, because we are in crisis and we don't know how the future will look like. My answer to this one, and I remember one very specific communication I had with a very nice lady from one of the hospitality groups and hotel groups from Corfu.
Can you tell the name?
No, I will not tell a name here. But she knows exactly who I mean, and I was telling her, look, I lived through so many crisis times, experienced so really tough and bad days, a lot of stress. But one thing I really learned: it will always continue. We are human. We are there. We survive. How we do that? Sometimes it takes a while. And look, today we are all in the position to have a business, especially in hospitality, that is running even better than always. Why? Because also these times have given us the chance to recapitulate, to think a little bit, to reflect. This is something very important, to learn new strategies and to get also this inner strength. And by today, she tells me, wow, well done. Fantastic advice that you've given me. And this is an advice that I can give to anybody. The world is never drowning, at least not in our lifetime, hopefully. We don't know how things human are capable of doing, but in our times it will not drown, and we will always continue. So these were two situations which were really tough in that way.
I think adapting is the right word. We can adapt to any environment, any crisis or whatever. We have been talking from 2019,
Yes.
I believe. And I'm really proud that I was one of the first not me, okay, the hotel that I was at that time, said, okay, this is positive, bring it, because it's not expensive, and it's something new, and this is the way that we should all go to in order to become better. This was really a bad day. And you can think at us as an example, because my work in the hotel industry is to explain people that they don't have a bad day. Having a bad day means somebody dying in the hotel. Knock on wood, everybody should be healthy, because I knocked on the table, which is wooden, and everybody was looking at me like they want to kill me, because it's sounds for the podcast. But the thing is, if you think that you're having a bad day, you can ask your neighbor how was his day or her day, whatever. I'm not good with pronouns, which is something. Yeah, I'm not good with pronouns. The most important thing is to have the ability to say, tomorrow I'm going to have a very good day.
Yeah.
It's a way of thinking, a positive way. Sorry. and there's a very big lack of the society nowadays for young people and older people like us, Gen X, that they cannot motivate themselves. But as I told Labros, those are my psychological problems. I'm not going to share them with anybody else. But
Of course not.
yeah, no, I don't want to. I don't want to share any problems. But the solutions, it's all about solutions. And as you told me from the beginning, I didn't want to interrupt you because you are explaining a solution to a problem. If you would have started the conversation about, okay, we have this problem, that problem, I would say, okay, no, thank you, let's go on. Because the thing is, we need to concentrate on how we can become better. And
Yeah.
this is the most important thing. Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah.
solutions.
To have a good thought exactly in this going in the pointing in the same direction. I would even go a very big step further. It's not about waking up or having the confidence that tomorrow will be a better day, because we don't know that. I don't know if tomorrow is going to be a better day than today. But what I do know is that I can get up or can look, view at a situation which I do not like. I want to improve it somehow, and I can try to focus on what do I have at hand, what can I personally do, and where do I need help. And to have this understanding means that you can that you can overcome basically every single challenge that you're faced with and confronted with, not, not only in the private life, in when we are all getting older. You know your parents. I mean, everybody. No, if you go to the broader sense, we can sit and talk for ages. But what is very important is the fact that that we have the mental capability, and if not, then we can develop the strength to ask for help, and to let somebody and to trust somebody, let somebody help us in some ways, which is a very nice way of saying you don't have to know anything. You sometimes just need to know where to get help and support to overcome the situations. And this way, also the youth or the society problem that you just addressed very well. I believe the same. It's a lot about society. It's a lot about our media world in the so-called developed
Oh,
world.
yeah.
It's too
Don't
much. I
start
mean,
with
it's
this.
for another day, of course. No, but it's sometimes too much, and we can differentiate. But the young generation, just coming from school, from university, they're just bombarded with information. They need to sort it out. And they have to learn or to cultivate, I would say, to cultivate the capability of differentiating between this is true and this is not true. And then to find a good way on how to move on with their own life. And this way you don't have to judge. Am I feeling bad or not? Of course we feel bad once in a during one day. Did you ever experience one single day where from the moment you get up until the moment you get to sleep, you feel okay?
Only
I
if I
didn't.
have a hangover and I sleep all day.
Oh, that's a
It's the
different
only
story,
way.
maybe. Go.
No, it's like this, and I can relate to all the things that you say. I'm going to speak a little bit German now. Sorry. It's genauso wie ich dir mal gesagt habe, ich sage immer guten Morgen. Und der guten Morgen kommt, weil die Sonne aufgegangen ist. Und da fragen alle, oh, warum? Ja, wenn die Sonne nicht aufgeht, heißt das, dass wir ein großes Problem haben. Und ich meine nicht wegen die Wölke oder was immer.
Mhm.
Wenn wir keine Sonne haben, haben wir ein Problem. Das heißt, die Sonne
Genau.
ist auf, positiv denken, danach können wir weitermachen.
Richtig.
Ja,
Ganz genau.
auf
Das ist
Deutsch
halt
würde
das.
das einfacher sein, aber da können wir auch wieder auf Englisch weitermachen. Und sorry, everybody's laughing here. Und. Now I'm coming to the point that I need to ask you. I want personally I have a personal question for you. Did you believe that you are going to have? You told me before that you are not going with scenarios or whatever. Did you believe that you be so good in your job for GIATA Drive in Greece after 5 years of trying to achieve and to build up your customers?
Of course not. In the beginning, I was not sure at all if this is going to work out well or not. Not because of the technology, because technology is something, as we all know, from the first smartphone until what technology we have today. From the technology, which is always developing, it's fantastic, it's great, and it's going to be a lot more showing. But what I did not know is if the market will be ready for it on the one hand, and if the hoteliers, the individual hoteliers, not only in the big cities, but especially there where tourism is taking place on the islands in Greece, on the larger islands, on the volume tourism islands as well, working a lot with tour operators, if they are ready to accept a product which is taking away responsibility from them, meaning to having to trust in a company, and in addition to a foreign company, after having had the experience with the large tour operators over so many years, first of all, taking advantage of the hotels a lot, and then learning step by step that you need to work mutually on the same level with hotels in order to succeed together. Of course, I did not know if this is going to work out, but what I was always sure, but this is my personality, this is who I am. I believe that there is a tiny chance. And when I see that there is a tiny chance, when I really believe this, then I do everything that is possible and to make it possible. And today, I am the last person who is saying well done to myself, but I have to say well done to myself and to all the people, and this is very important, who have supported me on the way. This is the whole team of the GIATA itself, of the company, of the communication, of the to understand also the difficulties, the challenges, because a company has a normal way of acting. They want to succeed, they want to sell, like everybody, a hotel does. But of course, there are certain challenges, and everybody supported. Everybody was putting a little piece together, and together we succeeded. I alone could never have done it.
I want to meet those people in the ITP.
You will. I will
I will.
introduce you.
Okay, I want to get to know them because I know the only person that I know is you from GIATA Drive, and I've been talking to you like as we talked 5 years now, and it has to do about as you told, it's all about believing in somebody. It's having faith because the hoteliers, we Greeks have a very big problem. We don't trust anybody, and it's a cultural thing. It's not about just about somebody's foreign, or we don't trust people. And I think it's the last 600 years that are the fault is on those 600 years because of what our history is all about. But nobody wants to talk about this history, about the bad things. It's like being in a family and seeing an elephant in the room and saying nothing. It's the same thing in in Greece. But the positive thing is that we are going to meet an IDP. We are going to make a video over there with all the people that I know from GIATA, and we are going to have fun over there. And now is the time for you to ask the question for the next guest.
Okay. So I'm the politician again now. I try to win some time over what is very important. But of course,
I've been talking 2 minutes now, and you're not
I
the
have
politician. I'm the one.
I have so many questions anyway, but I think a good question to to address to any basis. How much time and how much effort do you want to spend on a reoccurring daily task if you know that there is a technology, if you know that there are people who can actually do the work for you and you can focus on something that is really important. So how much time are you willing, that's my question, to spend on tasks which you know somebody else can do better than you?
Yeah. Nice question. There are no easy or the questions are questions. There are no positive, negative. If you are curious, as we said before, you want to ask questions in order to become wiser, to know what the answers are. And that's why we ask people to ask somebody else whatever they want. And it's the most important thing. Now, how was this until now?
For me,
Yes, for
personally,
you. Yeah, for
fantastic.
you. No. For your for the owner of GIATA Drive. You can talk about him.
No, I don't. I believe for me, it was a very good experience. It was a very insightful conversation as well that we've had. And I like to talk about conversations because this is how, and we touched this topic before as well. This is how we learn. This is how we grow. And so to exchange thoughts, to communicate with each other, this is something that sometimes has, for many people, not only due to the last crisis, but due to their life, due to society sometimes. And this is something that I enjoyed a lot in our conversation because it's a calm conversation. It's a colloquial conversation. So you have also the time, you take the time to direct your questions. And then, of course, also to see about the answers. And this is something always, it's always a give and take. And for me, it was a very pleasant experience.
The thing is, everything has to do with the point of view everybody has on how he, she, them, they, no, he or she is going to.
You have many more of these expressions.
No. There are in New York State there are 100 or something like this. I'm not going this path. No, thank you. The thing is that as people want to learn things, they have to ask questions. And as I have a saying, I told you this 3 years ago. The most important ability somebody has to have in order to grow is the ability to listen.
Right. I fully agree.
Yeah. If you can listen, then you can filter. If you know how to filter thoughts, positioning, and everything, then you can do this right. The problem with young people, because I need to explain to a lot of people, I needed to explain to a lot of people that I told them in the last show that I'm going to do a live between the week. I wanted to do a show for the young people that are students that are new in hospitality and everything. I didn't have the chance to do this, but I'm going to do this next week on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on 10 o'clock. I'm going to have a live stream. It's going to be in Greek. It depends if our show
so
is going to...
unfortunately, it means that you will not invite me to the show.
No. Wait a second. If this show is going to get a lot of views, this means I'm going to have to make the show in English. And I'm going to talk as I go to universities and talk to students and what is important and as everything that they were brought to up until the 19th or 20th year of life was a lie. Everybody is looking like me like this and say, what he's talking about. Yeah, usually in Greece, there's a lot of lies about what the real world is all about and what school is all about. School is like 18 years until you're 18, and then if you go out, yeah, is this correct or not? Yeah, 18 years old. Yeah, this was Vasilis.
Yeah. It's good that you remember,
Yeah.
because you're younger times, but you're not that old.
Yeah, but I'm not so younger. But I am younger. But the thing is, the positive about all those things is it is our responsibility. And if I say, when I say ours, it means mine and yours. Who are the professionals in tourism to lead the way? And that's why I talked with you from day one. And I said, after half an hour conversation, yes, please, I want it now. Yesterday, I want it yesterday. If you know what you want, you can achieve your goals. If you don't know what you want, you cannot do anything. And this is my
That's
personal
correct.
opinion. And
Mm.
I would like to thank you now for being with us. And I don't know if you had a good time. You're going to tell me
Oh,
afterwards.
that
No,
was
no, no, not now. You're on camera. You're a politician. I don't believe you. You're going to tell me afterwards. And I hope that we can help people become better, because the whole concept of this show is how somebody can become better. And if it is GIATA Drive, if it is a PMS, a channel manager, I don't know what.
or simply in the personal life cycle of every single personality which is inside of every human being. We need to learn, and we have to, when we automatically, and you cannot even avoid it. Your audience, when you go to universities, and that's why invite me to the show. It is all about learning. It is all about adapting new strategies. So if you like it or not, you will grow in the one or in the other way. But what in my view is also the same, is it's very much correct. You have to not really, maybe not to know in detail what you want. You have to decide about the direction where you want to go. Do you want to grow or don't you want to grow? This is the thing you have to do. What will come in the future, you will never know. But you can get better every single day. And I think your show, and this is something I really enjoyed talking with you today, but also listening to all my predecessors as well, who have been with you on the show. It's all about giving some insight on how to approach real life and not theory. Theory is one part. It's good to understand, because our brain needs something to digest. I always say it. It's like a good meal, but you have to be able to take the fruits from it and to apply what you have learned. And this is something I think is very valuable, what you do.
Thank you very much. And you said Irasko aidi daskomenos means in Greek, as I learn a lot as I grow. And it's a very I use it always in when I do any training for hotel owners. And thank you very much for being on the show. It was a pleasure. And now you can say that it was a pleasure, although because we are going to close in German, so that you know.
So I would say, first of all, from all my heart, thank you for having me on the show.
Namaste.
Perfekt. Es hat mich gefreut, dein Gast zu sein, Kyriakos.
Nach so vielen Jahren hat mich das sehr gefreut. Denn ich bin immer zwischen Englisch, Deutsch, Griechisch. Und das ist ein bisschen schwierig für mich, denn eine Sprache ist nicht nur die Wörter, es ist auch die Kultur. Und das muss man auch verstehen. Und danke, dass du heute hier mit uns hier warst auf The V-Experiment. Und jetzt kommt auch eine Frage. What do you believe does the V-Experiment mean? And I mean the V, because I'm 99.999% that the V is wrong. Leave us your comments. Das musste ich ja machen. Das ist normal.
Yeah, the V experiment itself, honestly speaking, I have no idea.
Yeah, sure. My name is Vicos with a V, and everybody says, it's Vicos. And I'm going to say...
No.
Yeah.
Maybe yes, maybe no. But I don't believe it is Vicos. Of course, we all love to hear our own name.
No, not me. I've called my company Hospitality Perception because it's all about perception. Life is about perception. And I wouldn't do this. But I did this because everybody else would think about this. Mm-hmm. This is marketing.
Yeah, of course. And you will maybe one day, if you had an idea even about it, which I believe, you don't have to tell it now, but in a couple of years, maybe you will tell the secret. You will lift the curtain and say what it really means. But it's an experiment, and experiments are always there to grow. It's a communication. It's all, for me, everything is communication.
Exactly.
So of course, you will find out how this will affect maybe even society, not only in Athens, in Greece. The media can transform because it's an experiment, and you are talking with real people who are actually alive, and people who you actually know in person, and not just people from virtual. This is also something, maybe the V, maybe it's a virtual reality, maybe it's an AI created avatar, the V in avatar. I don't believe it, no, but I believe really it's something. It's a fantastic format. It's a new format, and something that really the world hasn't seen so far in this way.
You know me a long time now, and we are speaking from heart. I usually try to do things that nobody else have tried to do it. It's not that I'm clever, more smart or whatever. But the thing is that when I decided to make my company that does the private education for hotel owners, and I found out that nobody else did this. It's not about nobody thought about it. It's about knowing that you can do this and fail and do this again and fail and do this.
And here again, the cycle of how you are getting on the ground to really live, to be in reality. You have to start doing something. Theory is one.
Theory is theory. Okay.
Knowing that you can do it or saying that you can do it is one part, but it's important that you just start to do it, and then to grow and to learn about the obstacles along the way, and you take it as it is. So, and you weigh, does it make sense? Does it not make sense? No, and I believe until today, there's a big chance that it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, and I posted on TikTok the V experiment, a small video that started like, in order to succeed, you first need to fail. Everybody says this. It's easy telling some quote, but it's very difficult to make it part of your everyday life.
Yes.
In theory, everybody knows it. I've seen some heads moving around. Like this. They do. They say it's easy, but nobody does it.
Right. And the thing is really to accept that failure is a big part of our life. this is something else,
Oh,
because
yeah.
we can always say,
Don't start with this. Yeah.
you have to fail before something is succeeding. It's not necessarily true. You can go along and everything is working out well, but the probability that something will not go as you wish is very high, and that you will fail many, many different times. It doesn't have to be the big failure or the big fall. Usually these are the small falls that are summing up a little bit. But in the end, this is where this is how we live, ups and downs.
I would like to thank you once more for being on the show, and I'm sure that at the end of the day, failing, succeeding, it's all about the company, because everybody wants to have somebody with them in order to achieve things, because it's very lonely over there. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, Kyriakos.
Good night. Ευχαριστούμε πάρα πολύ που μας αντέξατε με τα αγγλικο-γερμανικά μας. Ήδη βλέπω κάποιους να χαμογελάνε εδώ πέρα. Εντάξει, δεν είναι κακό και να γελάνε. Η ουσία του πράγματος είναι ότι όταν έχουμε ανθρώπους γενικότερα σαν τον Reinhard μαζί μας, Chin Reinhard.
Chin. Genau,
η ουσία του πράγματος είναι ότι προσπαθούμε, μπορούμε να γίνουμε αυτό που θεωρώ εγώ, δεν ξέρω αν ακούσετε τώρα λίγο βαρύ, ξέρω τι θέλω να πω, αλλά δεν θέλω να το πω γιατί μπορεί κάποιοι να βγουν και να με βρίσουν. Το ότι κάποια στιγμή ο πολιτισμός μας έβγαινε προς τα έξω και άνθησε όλες τις περιοχές του πλανήτη, δεν σημαίνει ότι δεν μπορούμε να το κάνουμε τώρα. Το θέμα είναι να μην κρατιόμαστε σε αυτό το πίσω και να πηγαίνουμε σε κάτι καινούριο που θεωρούμε εμείς ότι μπορούμε να πάει τον κόσμο και να γίνει καλύτερο. Τώρα θα μου πείτε πώς μπορείς να γίνει αυτό το πράγμα όταν βλέπεις διαδικασίες όπως τέμπη και πάει λέγοντας. Τι να το πούμε. Αυτό που θέλω εγώ να πω είναι ότι εμείς είμαστε εδώ πέρα για να φτιάξουμε τον κόσμο, να δώσουμε καινούργια πράγματα, και αν μπορούμε να βοηθήσουμε το 0,01% των ανθρώπων που θα το δει να γίνει καλύτερος, έχουμε πετύχει το σκοπό μας. Τώρα, όσο αφορά το The V Experiment, τι σημαίνει το The V? Τα μηνύματα είναι δικά σας και περαστικά σας, γιατί δεν πρόκειται να το βρει κανένας. Καλό βράδυ και θα τα πούμε την επόμενη εβδομάδα.